one of those, please.
Yes.
Perfect.
I see the strategy
Nice
here.
double.
Look at
Yep,
that.
both players roughly halfway up the board. Look at this burning sequence here. Annie Shark doing a nice job of maintaining the stack as well. We have to take some doubles in the process, but still certainly
Perfect.
alive in this battle.
It's glorious.
The process of intentionally setting up for triples is a tricky one. But survival is just as important in this mode. Even if you can find that scoring potential, your opponent could, in theory, still line you out if you top out too soon.
Miss T-spin.
Ow.
That's painful.
That hurt. That hurt. I miss a T. Every time someone misses a T-spin, an angel dies. Allegedly, according to me.
Every time someone misses a T-spin, and Ethan Thoughts thinks about kangaroos.
Oh, yeah. And folks, sorry about my comments on kangaroos. I understand there might be some pro-marsupial people in here, and I don't want to deter anybody from the greater good. That is the Tnp Show. We are open to everybody. But I can't imagine a kangaroo can play Tetris with the stupid paws anyways, so... But I digress.
I'm gonna make a kangaroo Tetris tournament just for you.
Just to spite me? How dare you?
All right, 61,000 points for Liliana, 48,000 for Annie Shark. We are a little over 2/3 of the way through 12 speeds here. So we'll soon hit the first speed change. And boom, triple for Annie Shark. So getting some nice catch up here.
Perfect. Longboard dependent again, but...
Oh, Liliana getting to a rough situation.
Yes.
Nice. So I'm not add this yet. Nice single. 2 squares, unhelpful.
Certainly survivable, but going to take the right pieces here.
Transition. Almost near. Oh, that left side though. Left well open, but blocks it.
No, wrong times we're getting square bursted.
Nice. Come on. Give Leanne the long bar.
Yeah, that's the other thing here is you can, well, it's many things, but one of them you can probably see is it takes a lot longer to down stack because you can't just quickly set up for 4-line burn to the bars. Oh no, Liliana tops out!
No.
So Annie Shark, you need 76,000 points. 76,000 will do it. And hello to Evan J. Tetris, raiding with the party of 3.
Thanks for the raid, by the way.
Yes.
So
Thank you for the raid.
76,000 is the target. Annie Shark briefly had a double hey now on the screen, so that one's for you, Omen. 69,694 was the score briefly. Right, 76,000 is the target, so Annie Shark's got plenty of time to do this, so as I said, can indeed just line this one out. And I think one more burn will do it here, and indeed it will. And Annie Shark has done it. Won earlier today with Ladder League, getting her first win in that. And now we'll get her first drought mode win, or at least to my knowledge, first drought mode win. And it'll be against one of the founding members of it, Liliana.
GG's, Annie Shark. I look forward to playing Tetris this game mode with you all.
Yes, an absolutely fun mode. I'm saddened that my work season's not going to end in time for me to participate in the next tournament. Hopefully I'll catch tournament number 3. And we'll see if Annie Shark can get the 100,000 points here, which is not an easy milestone to hit on this mode, I can tell you. think my own record is 160 something, I want to say.
Transition 90. And it's going left wall too. I didn't just realize that.
Yeah, left wall is perfectly viable. Because again, it's basically the difference between needing the L or the J primarily.
And the J came one piece too early.
But Annie Shark is going to do enough to get 100,000, so here we go. We'll see how much more Annie Shark can push this through.
Alright. Single. Oh, it's hang of. Ah, rip.
We're about 104,000. Wow. 100,000 is indeed tough, Frank. I can confirm. And yes, Omen has the correct schedule. Ethan versus Arbaro coming up next, and then the Riker Rumble finals.
Riker Rumble, baby! Anybody
We're
else?
on time too.
Anybody else feel like that the weather's just been too nice lately? I'm kind of feeling like it's gotten too nice recently.
What the heck?
Same. Thanks for joining.
Omen was wearing a sweatshirt with a kangaroo during his match.
What?
Oh no. I didn't even think it was possible for this to come full circle, but somehow.
No, I understand now. UMKC, of course. Why didn't I think of that? I'm not talking about those kangaroos. I'm talking about the spineless, punch your dog kangaroos. That's what I'm talking about. The business college kangaroos are okay.
Oops. Wait. Oh, it's Ethan, not Omen.
Yeah, weather is too nice, and people, instead of people going out and playing Tetris, yeah, you know what I mean. We should be inside playing Tetris and moving the divs along, folks. Not flying a kite or exercising. Come on.
I need to use the bathroom while things are being switched.
You have my permission.
I have a feeling I'm not going to get a chance to once the Riker Rumble starts.
No, I didn't see your message. What did you send me?
Now, did we skip
What
you?
am I looking for?
Abaro, you can veto level 12. I will let you. I will not make you play level 12.
I don't see anything from you. What did? Can you guys take over the seeds and all that?
Yes, of course.
I appreciate it.
We might have. We are realizing we might have missed a match in our queue, perhaps.
Between who?
I don't know. Someone M1 and this and that, I believe. Okay, I'll play a BO3 start set with you sometime in the future if you want. Oh, that's cool. Okay. So we start out with 18, I suppose, right?
Oh, I see. I totally missed that. Sorry, guys. I did see it, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to put it in the queue. Totally forgot. So, this kid.
Well, 18 all the way. Perfect. Thanks you for your understanding. Sorry.
We'll get it done.
Okay. So we just need a... Yeah. That sounds like what it is. So we just need a countdown here. I think both of us are ready, so we'll just get this moving on. And Coverdales and Mathos can hop into comms when they are ready. So let's get going here in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And if nobody comms, I will tell you my score, Abara.
I'll be back in a second.
Take your time. You're fine.
Or you could talk about kangaroos.
Well, I wouldn't do that.
Not again.
And those things that doesn't mix well with Tetris.
What are you talking about?
Boom, Tetris Ethan. Boom, Tetris Ethan. Ethan at 47,000.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're playing. Totally forgot about that. So,
That's okay.
and you're definitely pushing down.
You have to push down. It's 3 points.
That's true. Starting off, Ethan with 72, Arboro 50. Both players clean.
Ethan gonna top out at 77k, 77,791 specifically. Abaro, you are just past that, so first point goes to Abaro.
GG's.
What are good coffee flavors? I'm thinking of drinking coffee. Well, personally, that's a very interesting question, M1. Yeah, honestly, I really wouldn't recommend it unless you're like 16 or over, but once you're an adult and ready to drink coffee, it's probably fine. I started when I was 14, and I kind of don't regret it, but light roasts are my favorite. I don't like flavored coffee, personally. Yeah, yes, good game. All right, we shall increment, and we will move on.
Good ready from Ethan.
Yeah, we'll let Avaro take their time. Yeah, don't
Yeah, of
flavor the
course.
coffee itself. If you want flavored stuff, find flavored creamers or whatever. That's right. Yeah, that's a good point, overall. Yeah, something. So the flavored roasts itself are kind of different, I'd say. My favorite is probably the donut shop blend. If you were to go to the store and buy a store brand, I like the donut shop blend. But when I'm at work, I get original medium roast. And we are off.
Ethan with push down, 59 and counting. Arbro not opting for push down points. Arbro taking safety single and double.
That's the P sequence right off the...
Oh. Yes.
It is an SCP sequence.
Arbro comes to fill in that middle for Arbro and that long bar, and Jay will rip the well for Arbro and needs a long bar to complete this dig. Not interesting yet. Arbro finally gets it, and boom, Tetris for Arbro.
Nice, Arbro not too far behind on the scoring here. As Ethan got forced in some awkward situations, including a center well at one point, but
that was a triple.
Well, it was still center well-ish.
Oh, yeah. It ruined my pace.
That's okay. I don't think this is going to be a pace game. But we'll see what the pieces give. And so far, players handling their boards reasonably well. Just hopping from one Tetris to the next here.
Yeah, minimal drama.
Really wish I could push down faster.
Just push down on 19 speeds.
That I like 19 because I don't have to push down.
Yeah, but it's still extra points on the table.
It is. You're right. This is coming from. This would be the same argument I would make. If somebody was saying opposing this view.
So when you push down, how fast does your pieces go? What's the speed equivalent?
19, I believe.
19. So if you push down on level 29, does the pieces slow down?
No. Rather, 29 was designed to be the kill screen, so nothing happens. The pieces are... it's double 19 speed, 29, I believe, so...
Good down stacking here from Arbaro, by the way. Gets through a nice board, but massive lead right now for Ethan, currently 160,000 points ahead. So, Arbaro will have some catch-up to do here, but still plenty of time left in this game as we are just past 18 speeds. Arbaro also with a few lines in hand here, because to the surprise of nobody, Ethan is ahead on the piece sequence.
Slightly.
Unrelated note, but to go back to M's question, I agree with this and that. You don't need to add any flavor to coffee. Just drink it as it is. It's going to be bitter, but you'll appreciate it all the more for it. If you were looking... My favorite type? I mean, as I said, I just drink coffee straight up. I mean, there's some intricacies, and I guess the types of brews or roasts, how dark they are, whatnot. It's not something I'd like to drink too often. Usually I drink decaf when I do, because caffeine usually has the opposite effect on me. It actually makes me more tired. I don't know if that's an ADHD thing.
Right.
I think...
No, I think, so, yeah, I also, too, like black coffee. So if I were you and you were just starting out to drink coffee, try black coffee. See if you like the bitter taste. Maybe because that really just simplifies coffee drinking for the rest of your life. You don't have to worry about keeping milk, you just make coffee. But a lot of
Also-
people prefer cream.
Yes,
Also,
also to
dude,
cut you off
Arbor,
there
I'm
for a
getting
sec.
chased
Arbaro,
down.
you're in a yes. Chase down
Chase
for
down.
Arbaro. 403 is your target, Arbaro. You need 403,000.
You can do it.
Yes. As this
So-
and that said, this is going to be an Arbaro special. The chase down.
For me, it maybe I didn't ask the question correctly. Like, yes, there's like black coffee, there's medium brew, there's light brew, but I'm talking about like do you drink Colombian or do you drink like that? Or
Right.
does it matter?
My favorite's Peruvian. Ask Ramble on Ian in my server if you get a chance, because Ramble on Ian has some great coffee knowledge.
I mean, not too picky, I want to say, when it comes to that.
But there's always low acids, like cold brew. That's a whole different game.
Ooh, mischief on the bar there is going to put Arbaro in a bit of awkward spot. Gets a nice burn through it. Again, 403 is the target, so can just line this one out here. Does not need to be in a rush.
Yeah, quite frankly, I would recommend line out strat for this one.
Yep. Just making sure Arbaro knows the score target, so 403.
Is 20,000? Yeah, 20,000 away. This is definitely
Oh, it's doable.
doable. Don't want to jinx him though.
So yeah, Baro has always been a formidable opponent to me, and I'm very happy. I haven't played Baro in so long because these gold divs have been moving slow. GG's, but yeah, and I've been having. Yeah, I need to go to Omen and get that controller.
Small jabs from this week's Ladder League challenger and reigning champ.
Match point of Baro.
I see you there, Brian. Listen up. But yes, kudos to Arbaro. Skilled play there to go up 2-0.
Yes.
I think I might have missed game one.
It was bad.
Don't
Yeah,
be
they would
ashamed if
play
you like
top.
coffee with milk and sugar more. Yes, I'm not
Right.
trying to belittle anyone who can't handle the bitterness. It is extremely bitter.
Oh, tea, that's good. And also, milk in tea is something I love. Don't forget about milk tea.
Oh yeah, I'll drink tea all the time. I will gladly take tea any day.
I-
Coffee's a once in a while thing.
I like green teas. Earl Grey, jasmine, those are all good. Yerba mate tea is also very good, and it's a different kind of like cerebral energy that I don't experience from conventional caffeine sources. Matcha is also pretty good, which is a derivative of green tea, and it comes in a powder. So matcha milk tea or boba teas, which you'll find all across America, that's good. But real Japanese matcha is very expensive.
Yeah, I'm all over the place when it comes with tea packets, varieties, flavors. I've made my own iced tea before. Because you can make that from scratch, fun fact.
That's awesome.
Let's count down.
Yes, alright, countdown. I knew we were missing something. Alright, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And here we go. Listen to that saying, did you know that the vast majority of wasabi is just horseradish with a couple things thrown in?
Yes.
What did I miss a jump here from tea to wasabi?
I think
Wasabi
we're
is good
talking about
too.
Japanese things. That's probably what it is.
Oh.
Wasabi, like the side to sushi. That wasabi, right? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Yes,
know. I
yes.
can't confirm that being true, but
No, I'm sure it is. No, I
Sounds
can
about
say
right.
I have had wasabi with sushi. It definitely opens up the nostrils. This and that also confirming that you interpreted that correctly.
oh, sweet. See?
And now we'll see if Ethan thoughts can interpret his board correctly.
No.
No. But still alive for the moment. And actually off to us. Oh, yeah. It's okay, we'll get the timing. One day. By June.
It's gonna be so much easier in person.
Yes.
Yeah, both these players did have awkward stacks, but now it's just Arbor that has a couple of problems that need to be solved, and the long bar will solve most of it, but of course long bar does not come in time. Where is this?
Very tricky board here for Arbor.
Where comes forced to fill in the dependency, and the original problem is, yeah, he's trying to fix the original problem, but okay, finally gets a long bar. All right, now the board's coming down. Okay, good solves from Arbor to get mostly out of this.
I cannot emphasize how tricky of a situation that was. That was like trying to solve two boards at once, with the way that split was driving things in the middle, and a nice center wheel Tetris to finish things off before the transfer back to right well. Oh, look at this delayed burn setup here from Arbor. Oh, that's brilliant.
Chef's kiss right there.
While Ethan Thoughts is pacing a bit here, currently 259,000 points on 73 lines. So factoring in the line difference, still going to be about 100,000 point advantage for Ethan. And Ethan maybe opting for the center while Tetris takes a nice double burn. There's the bar and a nice play by Ethan, so both players trading blows here, but slowly progressing through 18 speeds.
Yeah, both players past the halfway mark until 19. Yeah, this is a nice pace from Ethan, I think. Yeah, anytime I say like a particular person has a good pace, I never know if it's true. Sounds funny.
I like 400, 500 by 100 lines on 18 if I'm thinking that's like the game, you know what I'm saying? That's because I have definitely gotten 500k by 100 lines, and it's very rare for me.
That's fair. My habit is always, I do a built-in pace on myself where I take whatever the line count is and I multiply it by 4,000 as sort of a pulse check to see if I'm doing well. So by that logic, you'd have 520,000 points by 130 lines.
Wait, what's the formula?
So whatever your line count is, multiply that by 4,000. So at 50 lines, it'd be 200,000. At 100 lines, it's 400,000, etc.
Okay. I like that. My apologies if you hear my stomach growl.
It's okay. Bit of a high board here for Arbor. Arbor still have plenty of time here before 19. Ethan with far less time because he's about a dozen lines into the future. Now a baker's dozen into the future.
Transition for Ethan.
486 transitions. Yeah, I would call that pretty good, all things considered. Especially for the pieces being given on this game. Looks like Arbor poised to enter transition roughly 120,000 points behind what Ethan has. But Ethan's still putting up points here. There's a Tetris into level 20. So Ethan already with the half max on this game. Certainly going to give Arbor a challenge if they want to try and get the full sweep here. Needs a bar. Gets a
Gets
bar. Can he do anything else?
No.
The answer is going to be no, it looks like. So Ethan's done at 551. Arbaro needs 552. So cannot line this out, but has time. Does not immediately need to go for Tetris's. Gets one anyway. So there's 412 for Arbaro. Again, 552 will be the target.
Nice.
That was good.
Keeping the well open.
Ooh.
Come on, game.
Needs a bar right now.
It no happen. It's not happening.
No.
No bar.
come on,
Oh.
game.
Same sequence took them both out.
Count that trout. Yeah, what was that?
Count that drought. I will not. But it was certainly a drought.
Math was. You're like Microsoft Excel, honestly. I don't know if anybody's told you that.
I don't. I'm gonna take that as a compliment.
Yes, in a good
I
way.
don't know how-
Yes. I didn't call you Google Sheets. I called you Microsoft Excel.
No, nobody needs to know what I store all of the ladder league data in.
Oh, this is not a decider.
No, not a decider yet. Only 2-1. Ethan's got to take another one here for the decider.
Pen and paper.
Pen and paper, yes, obviously.
I use Open Office.
STZ for opener.
Standard time zone, no.
Oh my gosh, these players are placing.
Great minds think alike.
Insane.
That they do.
That was like 7 or 8 pieces.
This
The placements were the same. I mean,
still running pretty similar. At least up until when Ethan set the T-tuck up.
we're going to take this song here. It was only a 24-piece drought at the end, but 3 bars came soon. Zaburo blocked the well during level 20 and 21. Speaking of Arboro hangs
Oh
up
no,
the
hangs
long
up the bar.
That could be it.
No! Well, what better way to end the main part of the Tnp show than with yet another decider?
I am so hungry.
We
Hey,
walk
cover.
so you can run Coverdales, and I don't want you to starve, friend. It's not good.
Nah, I mean, I'll survive. I got this.
All the game
Believe.
fives.
All the game fives, only for Arbaro.
It's
Gotta
wiggity
make
whack,
sure.
yo.
Gotta make sure Arbaro's paying their due to being on the show.
Both players are ready. Let's count down. Count down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
Alright, we've busted out the decider.png.
As soon as I got rid of it, I have to bring it back out from storage.
Here we go.
I like this game.
It has. We just started.
It is a good game.
My God. It has been a match full of twists and turns. Where will it lead us to? who will get the last laugh on this edition of the TNP Show.
Both players digging. Both players who will. It looks like Alvaro's going to get out of this first. Ethan almost hung that long
Is
ball.
Ethan going to get out of this? This is not an easy situation.
You want to play dirty,
Oh,
Batman?
that was like 3 S pieces in a row. That was nasty.
Oh, this sequence is not for the faint of heart, folks. He's given it everything he's got, but there's nothing
just can't
left
beat
to
Obaro.
give, and Ethan goes down at 86,000
I
points.
never beat Obaro. Why can't I just beat Obaro once?
And Arbaro
Get together.
is
Ethan.
going to come away with a victory.
We gotta get together.
The final boss of TNP gets one over the madman, the mayor of 12 City.
For I am not worthy to stomp on your grounds, Obaro. Until next time, farewell. GG's. We commentate
So,
Riker Rumble too, or no?
I don't know what's going on for the Riker Rumble. All I know is it's happening on Omen Var's channel.
Oh, sweet.
So, Omen, are you ready?
Bye-bye. Thanks,
just
everyone.
in time. The session literally just hit 4 hours.
Hey, how about that?
Another happy ending to the TNP show, except not for me, because I lost, but I'm used to this.
Omen is also ready. It's got to be 8 o'clock on the dot. That's fine. Well, thank you all for joining another lovely TNP show. Of course, eternal thanks to Coverdales, for whom without none of this would be possible. So,
Thank you, Coverdales, for having me on and letting me host this show with you. It's very special, and I look forward to it.
Oh, thanks. And
yes.
thank you guys for coming on as well. It's been a pleasure having you guys on. Always.
Yes. Hopefully my work schedule allows me to not have complete meltdowns for my next 4 Tuesdays, although knowing my workplace I wouldn't be surprised. So that's exactly what happens. So
Tell them
all the more reason why I'm
Tetris.
glad I can.
Just say Tetris Tuesday, and just put in PTO forever.
You see, I like the sound of that, Ethan, but
I know.
I also like my overtime hours.
I understand. I understand.
All right, onwards to the next stage.
Starting the raid now.
Yes, dear viewers, please continue forth onto Omenvoir's channel for the Mere Riker Rumble finale. Dun dun
Let's
dun.
get ready to rumble. Alright, I think the raid is successful.
The raid went through. We can stop.
Alright.
Sorry about all the kangaroos. I shouldn't have talked so much about kangaroos.
Music going?
I think I need to hop over to Omen's scene, so...
I guess math, anyone else who, I guess, feels called.
What's up?
Hey, hey, hey.
Yes. No queue. Yeah, you can open the queue. I believe Mathwiz is taking over after this, so we're gonna
I
be
guess
sending
that'd
it back. To Mathwiz, so.
Unless you wanted to run the after party tonight. I mean, I know I've run the last few.
It doesn't matter to me. Whoever wants to. Do you want to play or do you want to host?
I mean,
Anyways, go ahead.
we can figure it out in an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Ethan could always host.
Welcome, everyone. Oh, that's true. If you can host.
Yeah, I could
then you
host. I have Google.
To the Riker Rumble finals. The Riker Rumble, for those of you who aren't familiar, which I assume everyone who's here is familiar, maybe I should go do the announcement. Someone else want to do the announcement while I talk? Or vice versa?
Go through the description, sure. So, for those who haven't been here before, the Riker Rumble is a special tournament that was held for the bronze tier of TNP, or Tetris for the non-pros. And what it is it is a lengthy duel, 40 minutes usually. This one's going to be an hour, though, right?
Yes.
Yes. So 60 minutes for this one, and which players will be able to play unlimited number of games in that time span, as many as they're able to, and they are trying to get the best 3 scores. Is there going to be 3 scores?
5 this
It's going
time.
to be 5 for this one. Normally, it's been 40 minutes and best 3 scores. This time, it's going to be 60 minutes and best 5 scores. So you're trying to get the best scores possible, and at the end of that time span, we will compare each player's number 1 score to their number 1 score, the number 2 score to the number 2 score, and so forth. And whoever has the best score on each level gets a point, and the most points wins that Rumble match. And so, in a way, you can think of it as a competitive qual, but with much high-stakes action, as you are very much trying to pace yourself based on whatever your opponent does. So I like to think of it as the Tetris equivalent of a soccer game, in that it doesn't have perhaps as many flashy, intense moments as the standard best of 5, but it's something that sort of builds up intensity and leads to an exciting and dramatic finish. And anyone who's either played, restreamed, or watched the other Riker Rumbles can tell you that we have had some very dramatic finishes throughout this tournament.
Forgot to update the score. I think it was 3-0 for Liliana.
Yes.
Semifinals. In a shocker, look at the scores, everyone, for each of the games, and see if you can spot a theme.
For the record, we did do test runs of this before the official Riker Rumble tournament, and this did not happen. We had a variety of results, so the fact that they have all been 3-0 perhaps speaks to the dominance or the consistency of the people in bronze.
I think that Liliana is pretty good at Tetris, and I'm anxious to see how this folds out.
I mean, seeing as Liliana is not even in bronze now, I would have to agree that Liliana is pretty good at Tetris. But don't undersell their opponent, Daniel, who has had very few losses in his competitive career, to my knowledge.
Best elo for anyone under 500k, or like around the 500k range, I believe is. I kept seeing someone quote.
Yeah, so certainly the type of player I almost like to say my mold or style of a player, someone who doesn't have the highest of PBs but can play pretty close to that full potential.
Yeah, this is exciting though. Like Liliana, the 8th seed, Daniel L12, the 10th seed, 2 Cinderella runs to the finals. Pretty incredible.
Yes, and one might wonder, oh, maybe the seeding didn't even matter. And to which I say, the first ever Fastlane tournament in TNP was won by a 6 seed. So sometimes you just get those magical runs at the start.
All right. Looks like our players are live. Once again, as a reminder, you're going to want to turn qual mode on. Turn on qual mode.
Yes.
But I think other than that, that's it. There are no same piece sets. This is not a game versus game. You just play it as if it were a qual, and you try to get the highest 5 scores possible.
In theory, over the course of an hour, you two will presumably have roughly the same RNG anyway. So all be a question of what you do on the good games and the bad games, for that matter.
All right. So now, really, I think it's just a matter of kind of waiting for everyone to be ready to roll, and then when we go, we will start the counter, which I should probably get up here and get it ready to roll here. All right, we have already from our players. Let's do a big 5 countdown since we got 5 games. All right, someone else want to do the honors because I noticed there's always a little bit of lag. You know what? I'm also going to share the screen here in a minute, but we'll get these players started first. Math Whiz,
Sure.
do the honors.
Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Tetris.
Oh my gosh. Started.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Riker Rumble, baby.
Yeah, if you're curious about the name, Riker Rumble comes from Mirror Riker, a TNP veteran, silver player, I think currently, came up with this idea of like, hey, you know, I've really been wanting to play this game mode that I came up with. I want to play where you just play for 60 minutes and you compare your top 3 scores. That's pretty much it. And we were all like, oh my God, that's genius. So we tried it out. A lot of people liked it. They like the fact that they can top out and still keep playing. And it ends up being kind of fun, especially towards the end. Obviously, the beginning, you kind of have not much to talk about as players are trying to get some kind of score on the board. But there you go. First top out already, 2,985. We'll go ahead and throw that score up there for Liliana.
I'm sure it'll get replaced in due time here. But 2985.
Another thing that'd be super handy, players, as you get scores, go ahead and drop them in chat for us. It'll make it a little easier for us to keep track of.
Or hope that Ethan and I are paying attention.
Which we are, obviously. I always pay attention, but yes.
Interesting strats to start off this time, though. We've got Daniel starting off at level 18 and Lily starting off at level 12s.
Which one player made the correct choice and one player made the wrong choice, naturally. But yeah, I'm sure Daniel understands and is just taking a calculated risk.
Thank you, Stolen Short Sword, for making the Tetris equivalent of a light bulb joke.
Yeah, one grace there is that, like, because we are on qual mode, we do oftentimes
second and third top outs coming out here. It was 90 in the range of 91,000.
Doesn't count. He hit a reset.
Oh,
a reset. Yep.
So if it doesn't end up on the scoreboard, it doesn't count as a score. Just keep that in mind, players. You got to let the score go all the way through. 38,094.
Yes.
Very cool. All right. So here we go. Matt, you've done a number of these. What do you think of the format and how it plays out?
Ooh. I mean, as I said, I do think it's the soccer equivalent of Tetris. So certainly it takes a certain level of patience, but it's different from other types of things in that you have to keep a level head to it. You know, obviously you want to rush into it, try and get the best scores possible. But I think sometimes it can be nice to just have, you know, that standard, you know, start with a nice base scores on the board, because you know, you'd think an hour goes by quickly, but it actually is a good bit of time to get in some games.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the key is also just being able, especially later on in this hour stretch, to be able to react to what your opponent does, get an idea, because I feel like it can be really difficult for some players, me in particular, to adjust to a 35,896 for Liliana, by the way.
And Daniel choosing a better level to start out on to get points, which is level 12.
there, no one got the score, but yeah. So wait,
Oh yeah, I gotta share the screen. Let me do that so you can not be so lagged.
all good. Yeah, I feel like it can be tough to play in this mode, especially in the early stages, because there's no concrete score to go after. Everything's open ended. In theory, you're just trying to play the best Tetris you possibly can. You can't necessarily react to what your opponent does, but then I feel like as you go later on and you're seeing the scores your opponent's putting up, it's like, okay, their top score is this, so maybe I'm going to target that. Or feel like you're having a bad game, it's like, okay, let me see if I can at least pass their number 2 or number 3 score. And so it becomes a little bit of a chess game in that regard, and that you sort of have to see what scores you can strategically go after, and then if you can push past it, obviously, by all means, you want to try to. So,
Yeah,
I
I
don't know if the way
agree.
I answer that makes sense with you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think I love your soccer analogy on this one. I think that it's pretty apt, especially like, what's kind of cool about soccer. Sometimes you can be down with like 5 minutes to go, and as long as you got like a really good push toward the end, you can like completely change the tenor of the game and make a comeback. And we have witnessed at least opportunities for that in these matches where players seem to be down, but it comes down to that very last game where, so long as they get a one good game, it pushes all their other scores down a bit, which could be enough to flip the entire script of who's winning and who's losing. And certainly during the course of the match, we'll see that happen. Like right now, Lily's got a bunch of lower scores on the board, which means that yes, Lily's got a 3-0 lead. But you'll notice that as higher scores start to get thrown on the board, that's going to change. It'll start to flip.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's a lot of strategy and nuance to it. One of it being the level starts, because as I'm sure the audience has picked up on, there are no set level starts to do in the Riker Rumble. You can do pretty much whatever you want, but it comes at the caveats, of course, for some folks, especially for the people playing in bronze this, they might not be as comfortable on the higher level starts, but obviously more, not just scoring potential that comes there, but uh, faster pace. You can put up more high scoring games quickly, or the opportunity for more high scoring games, whereas the lower level starts, obviously you can afford to stack higher and therefore pace harder, but you don't get as many games to make things work out. So if those lower level starts don't end up working in your favor, then it's a lot more time you've lost off the board.
Yeah, as my fast lane qual was evidence of, I did a 9 start with an attempt to try to get kind of my stacking going. I wasted about half an hour not really getting any good scores, and then I did a level 9 start. It was going well, and then I topped out at 16 at like 490 something. I was like, are you kidding me?
Like contrary to what I was saying earlier, yes, I'd say save these like for my personal strategy. Yeah, I start with the 12 game for like say a CTM qual, and then I save. Then I start doing 18s to see, well, is my stacking on? But then if I really need it at the end to filibuster the clock, you can get these like you can go on a level you're going to be consistent enough on, and 9 is one of those levels.
Yes, agreed. Yep, and that you'll notice that a lot of players, they will slow things down for their last game, just like in a qual. So long as you've started your last game, when the timer hits 0, the game will continue to count. So a lot of these players, they'll do one last final game, and they'll slow it down in an attempt to try to give themselves the greatest chance to get a decent score on the board.
Yeah, in a way, it's a strategic move here, as by doing that, you can wait out for your opponent to top out, and then you'll know for sure what you need to clinch victory, or guarantee that victory already has been clinched if you're in the lead. 244, 397 for Daniel, by the way. It's also noted in the chat.
Ooh, nice. That's a good game.
Oh, here, I should rechat.
244 397. 244 397. I am sharing now, so if you do want to see a more up-to-date version, you're welcome to look.
Yes.
Yeah, this and that saying, just do a this and that approach and back 90. So we did in an after party 4-player Riker Rumble scene. And in that, this net was a participant and had like 2 600s and 3 500s or something. It was absolutely insane. Destroyed the competition. Probably one of the most impressive like 1 hour Tetris things I've seen within the TNP community. So that was interesting.
A testament to this and that's capabilities for sure. A 269 for Liliana on this current game. Here's your
Wow.
first now Omen.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Uh,
Yeah, Ethan, have you had the opportunity to see or participate in any of the Rec Rumbles yet?
I believe I have on your show. I believe I was part of one.
Was that the one with this and that?
Yes, I'm pretty sure I remember this. It was something like that with Ronkley and someone else too, right?
Yes, Ronkley, you, this and that, and who was the other one? That's a good question.
This was quite the thing.
This and that will remember, right? You remember all the victims?
Siler, yes. And I believe we like swapped out
Oh, yeah,
people too.
Siler.
I think Ricky Stacked was in there for a moment, but then was swapped out.
Oh no, that was for I think a 19.
That was for the bullet.
That was the 19 start thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a night.
But this is a wildly successful game mode, so I'm glad to see us coming up with new things. Just like the gay Tetris earlier, I thought that was a very interesting idea because it's also like no rotation but no long bar. I mean, it really forces the players to think, and people will start to know this game inside and out. It's kind of crazy.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
I think it would be fun to have a combination of all of the different styles and modes that people have come up with and have a Tetris Olympics of sorts.
Yes. And then you
think I've
earn
heard
points
they've done
for each of the different kinds of games that you win.
Yeah. I think I've heard they've done some rumblings of, maybe not quite in that way, but some
Rumblings.
Tetris Olympics in
Rumblings.
Brawl server.
418 for Lily right now. This is a game.
Lily will have the advantage by way of the best top score right now. But, Daniel's pacing well here for 12 speeds. I think Ethan can attest to this as the 12 expert.
This is good. 164 at 55 lines. Yes, this is coming up on that 300k transition. A sweet spot of level 12 start.
In the meantime, though, here's a chance to see
19.
what Liliana can do on 19 speeds. Going to need a bar for that left side, but doing pretty well otherwise. Oh, actually, fills it in with the J piece instead. So there's some of that drought mode stacking going into play there. Didn't use the bar to solve the dependency.
Yeah, actually, it can be very helpful, right? 19 is
Yep.
oftentimes not about trying to stack for Tetris, at least as you're learning 19. You're just trying to stack to survive. We'll need a long bar for the left side, though. Well, that's actually a really good way to do it, too. Oh, no.
Did you get that
Not gonna be
Smash
able to
Boy
get
over?
anything
No.
else.
What a game.
461, 712. 461, 712 is going to be the score.
There you go. With that, Lily does reclaim the top spot over Daniel's 244.
Large margin here, so see if,
Early goings, though.
it is early goings. We'll see if Daniel's pressured to try and counter on this game here. Still running a strong pace right now on 12. We are currently about 13 minutes through the Rumble clock. So still about 80% left of the Rumble to play out here.
Things justification wise that we had for the Riker Rumble being a special event in TNP, because maybe some people are kind of curious, well, why this and not regular Tetris? Well, we decided we wanted to try to come up with different game modes that would help emphasize very specific types of skills. So for Silver Bullet, which was the previous special event we had, we figured one really important thing to being a good silver player is getting really good at 19, because oftentimes that's the jump you're going to need to be able to start winning matches at the silver level. And so we decided, why not have a tournament of all 19 starts and make it best of 9, because we know these games are going to go pretty quick for the most part. And turns out, yeah, it was like, I think a lot of the players, maybe not as fun to watch for some people, but it was definitely, the players really had a lot of fun playing. I personally enjoyed watching it. I thought it was pretty wild. You just never knew who was going to come out on top because of the the nature of 19s at that particular level. For bronze, one of the things we want to try to emphasize is consistency. So the scoring in Riker Rumble is a little different than you might expect. We don't put more points towards the top score or the bottom score. We weight them all pretty equally, and that's intentional, because if you're doing a best of 5 match, let's say, and you got like a 700k game one game, then you early topped 2 more and got like 200k for the next 2, you're probably not going to do as well as the person who got like 300ks for 5 games. That person will probably win. Riker Rumble kind of, I think, helps bring that into focus, that it's important that you've got a bunch of really solid games, maybe not like the best game ever's, but just be super consistent, be super solid, and you're going to win a Riker Rumble. So we thought that that was a really interesting dynamic with how the scoring works and how it could maybe help potentially emphasize being consistent will win you games in competitive mode. Look at this VITS setup, by the way, from Lily.
Oh, got the Vits too.
Crazy.
Daniel's board getting high up here. Don't think Daniel's going to be able to survive this into transition, but won't get to it.
Good game,
378, 726.
378, 726. There you go. Daniel has taken over the second spot by virtue of that, as 244 is greater than 38,000. Math, actually, when you were one of the first ones that kind of really tried to commentate one of these things, and I thought you did a brilliant thing here with like treating it like a chase down target. So in this particular case, for the number 2 slot, Lily would have to get a 245,000 in this game or some other game. And this game's already at 194. So it has a potential to overtake the second spot, I believe.
Yes. I feel like just as I said earlier, for me personally, I play better when I have a concrete number to go after, as opposed to just the notion of, oh, just do your best every game, because it's hard to know how to pace yourself. Whereas here, you can at least know that, okay, if I'm going after this score, ideally I'd like to transition to this, I'd like to survive to this level, and I can probably get that score, and then anything beyond that is just, icing on the cake.
Yeah, I thought it was a brilliant way to approach it, and I love that it does give the players, as they're playing, something to target, right? It's like Lily right now, she's at 262, so she has in fact overtaken the second place score. And we'll now be looking just to add gravy. Go for 379 would be the next goal, to make sure that you're really pouring on the heat and making Daniel's 378 even less relevant to scoring. Daniel, on the other hand, has plenty of opportunities here. Could replace any of those bottom 3 scores pretty easily. But ideally would like to get somewhere close to that 461.
Yeah, and even then, as we've noted, and it's another nice thing about the Riker Rumble, is that if a player has, an out of this world game, like if either of them were to pull like a 700,000 point game right now, I think would be PBs for either of them, the other player could still win the Riker Rumble without having to beat that number 1 score. So it helps it fends against those outliers, which is also why we like the idea of comparing the 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, as opposed to just a general average of all the scores.
Yep, exactly. We've definitely had a lot of different suggestions around how to do the scoring. And they're all valid. I think all those different modes where you're doing average, that's a whole, totally nothing wrong with those different scoring methods, but this one does emphasize a very specific kind of point, which is, like you were saying, Matt, was the ability to stay consistent. Even if you don't have the highest score in a given set, you can still win a match.
Absolutely. 108.036 for Daniel, by the way.
All right, thank you.
So I believe Daniel's going to hold on to that number 3 spot even after this game from Liliana. Since
Lily having another fantastic game here.
So this really is almost a this and that level of dialing in for folks at home wondering how these two players directly compare. Liliana's got an overall PB of 618,244K off of 19 start. So and this is just all pure DAS here from Liliana.
Lily's ascent through the DAS learnings has been absolutely insane. I mean, I think when I started in August, I think she was still competing in the beginner elms and oaks,
Mm-hmm.
and is now currently like what 5 months later, 6 months later, a 600K player, which is just for DAS. That's such a fast ascent.
Absolutely. This amazing burning sequence here, keeping the board balanced on level 17, no less, and the Tetris at 5,000 now. So, for context on Daniel's scores, his PB is 586,000. So,
very comparable PBs.
Yep, just 30,000 points separating them. Daniel's also a DAS player here. Neither American, Liliana from Czechia, and Daniel from Canada.
Yeah, well, a good chunk of the competition this time around was good 19 score there from Lily, 530, 500.
That's going to be a massive score.
That is a massive score for Daniel. Will have to basically get right near his PB to overtake that one. But there's still hope. As we keep saying, you don't have to have the highest score to win a Riker Rumble. With 5 scores, too, that's a lot to have to defend at any given point in time. So put up 4 really good scores over the next 38 minutes and 39 seconds. And we could see a very different score on the board than what we're currently seeing.
Absolutely. Right now, Daniel is doing well on his 12 start here. Currently targeting roughly 250, maybe high 200s transition. So we'll have to do a good bit of work on the fast speeds or beyond those 100 lines. But certainly doable here. And hello
is this
to
TNP?
Yes.
This is TNP. It is a very specific special event final. 35,383. Is that enough? That's enough.
Yes, that will qualify as the number 5 score.
Yes. Max, welcome. I know we've been chatting other places, so good to see you. This is, in fact, a TNP special event. There was a tournament. It was called the Riker Rumble Tournament. This is a special mode of competitive Tetris. You can kind of think of it like a qual, but with a competitive edge to it, which is to say, you compare your top scores, your second top scores, your third top scores, etc. At the end of an hour, whoever has the most points wins. As you can see in the score in the middle there, you can see that Lily's currently got 4 points. Daniel's got 1, but it's still plenty of time left. Daniel doesn't even have 5 scores on the board yet. So.
Yes. All right. Let's see here.
Yeah, like qual versus qual is exactly it, Max. You got it.
That's the spirit.
Yes, this is part of the, I guess you can call it the Tnp Show, which just finished up. This would technically be, I guess, be part of the after party, but this is not quite that because we wanted to kind of treat it a little separate and special. So this is a special event finals. The winner, in theory, the winner will go to silver. However, there's a little bit of extenuating circumstances here since Lily's already been promoted to silver. So Daniel is the one who's actually fighting for silver at the moment. And if not, then like at least for pride, right? Well, people